I'm going to be installing a 2.4 liter LE5 intake manifold on my 2.2 liter L61. So this intake manifold is commonly used as an upgraded intake manifold for my model of car, my base model. The base model loses power, it falls on its face after a certain RPM. With this intake manifold, it's going to pull all the way to redline a little more noticeably. So it's just going to give it more horsepower up top. Not very much, but it's worth the upgrade, I think. If you guys missed my last video and you want to learn how to paint an engine part or an intake manifold like me, then you should really go check it out. It's just a brief overview of how to do it, what to do, how to do it right. Check that out if you haven't. And that is what we're going to be installing today. For this install, I'm actually not going into it blindly like I normally do. I'm actually looking at Crate Engine Depot's list of instructions right here that actually explain how to do a 2.4 liter intake manifold swap on your 2.2. The first thing it says to do is we need to unhook the battery. So that is what I'm going to do. And it's going to be great, right? The battery is disconnected. That's always a really good thing to do when you're working next to the alternator. If I was to touch the alternator or anything like that, well, for one, I would get shocked, and for two, it would fry something in the car. I don't know what, but it might fry something. So, you know, it's always a good thing to do. Next thing to do on the car is to remove the intake. That's really easy. It's just a couple clamps, couple screw clamps, and you're done. The next thing we need to do is remove the evap tube. So it's this thing right here, right on top of the throttle body. You just push those pins down, and it just pops right off like that. After that is to remove the whole throttle body. So that is going to be, I guessed it, a 10mm. I am going to use a small extension for my ratchet so that I don't have any problems hitting anything. So there's that. Right now I'm just connecting the fuel injector wires. I'll give you a little close-up right here. These are what I'm removing right now, the fuel injector connectors. There's a green little tab, and then you push in on that little connector right there, that gray piece, and then you just pull out with the connector. After you remove the throttle body and the injectors, is you have to remove this bolt down here. It's a 10mm once again for the dipstick. And then you have to remove this little clip down here that holds this wire. And then I started unbolting the manifold from the head. So I have all the bolts undone, and they're all sitting right here. So it is time to pull out the manifold. So it's out. So that's good, right? Goodness. That thing's nasty. My head's a little nasty too, just saying. I don't think it's supposed to have oil coming out of the head, is it? Because it does. Look, right here. I just cleaned the mounting surfaces, or the gasket surfaces, with some brake clean. And I'm also going to be cleaning my intake, no. And I'm also going to be cleaning my throttle body and my air filter as well. Just so I have, you know, fresh everything. Because I am using the 2.2 throttle body with this manifold. So, I'm gonna go get the manifold and we can start bolting it up. Just kidding, we can't bolt it up yet. I actually have to extend the brake booster hose because on the stock throttle body, the port is right here on the end, and on the LE5 intake manifold, it's right under the throttle body. So that means I need to extend the line a fair amount, probably about a foot, maybe less. Now that I have all the gaskets on my intake manifold, I can finally start to bolt it up to the block. I don't have a torque wrench that does inch pounds, so Crate Engine Depot says, well, you're supposed to use one, but it says 89 inch pounds is about just hand tight with a ratchet, so that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't have a torque wrench that does that. So like I said earlier, to install the brake booster line to the manifold, you have to cut this about right here and extend it probably about a foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it probably with a knife right here, and then I have some line right here. I just got it from like Mishimoto catch can line. It's ½ inch, so that's good. And then I bought these little fittings right here in order to connect it all. And there's also hose clamps. So that's what I'm going to do. You're going to see me do that next. And if it worked, then I'll be talking about it in the next clip. So yay. It is about time to put the throttle body on, but I need to show you what I'm going to do in order to run this throttle body. I got this spacer plate, adapter plate, from Crate Engine Depot. They usually sell it in the kit, but I just got it separate because I didn't want to buy the whole kit because it was a lot more expensive. So this just accounts for the opening in that to that, because that's a little bigger than what the throttle body is. So this is just going to account for that opening for a smooth transition, and it'll be great. Okay, so I forgot to close out this video again. I have the intake manifold installed on the car. I'm going to do a 0 to 60, and I'm going to time it on my GoPro, and then we can just compare the two times from before and after. I'm not expecting too much of a difference, but I'm interested to see if there is a difference. So those are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to work with what Bonnie has to offer. And so far, I'm really liking it. It's, you know, for a first car, this is really great. So I think these mods that I'm doing to the engine are perfectly fine. They're actually really good. And they just wake it up a little bit. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it. And subscribe if you want to. Next video, I should be installing tie rods, I believe. So, I will see you then.